standing for 15-20 minutes in aircraft speaking to a union minister of state. And this union minister did not even get up. हाँ sir, बताइए क्या हो रहा है? Chief Justice of High Court standing there. I was surprised. I said, what is happening? After all, he is the constitutional head of a High Court. But this is what is happening. One third. And if judges give judgments based on extraneous considerations, the end result is justice will suffer for sure. Because you are not concerned with what happens outside. You are concerned what is there in front of you, what is the evidence, what are the facts. You cannot become historians, you cannot become archaeologists. You don't even know how archaeology is done, you don't even know how excavation is done. But you still have decided that Ram was born over there. And it is Hindu belief. We don't want trouble in the country. We have given 1/3 to Muslims. And now VHP says, no, not even that 1/3 you give it to us. So where do I stand? What do I do? The only course of action left for me is to approach the Supreme Court. And as it was rightly stated by Mr. Satyanarayan, I was also on the TV. And I wanted to ask something, no. But question over here, my friends, is this 1/3 scheme. What would the court would have given, how the court would have given the judgment if the Babri Masjid was not demolished? Would they have said, okay, now demolish it, one dome for you, one dome for them, one dome for them? Because a criminal act was done by these people that facilitated the honorable judges to give that place where actual masjid stood there to the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. But for that act, the judges could not have framed the scheme. So you know very well that judgments in future, the implications of this judgment, that in future judgments will be decided according to Hindu belief. And not even Hindu belief, but those upper caste Brahmanical beliefs which are obnoxious, I say. Judgments will be decided according to that basis. If I go to court and it clashes with the Hindu belief of the upper caste, the court will say, sorry, we cannot do it because it is in direct conflict with Hindu belief. Judgments will be given in favor of majority. And that is why I say this has paved the path for the establishment of Hindu Rashtra. I don't know what would have happened. The courts have condemned the alleged demolition of a mandir of 1528. They have not condemned the act of 6 December. They should have condemned it, at least condemned it. That is also not being done. These are important questions which everybody is asking. How did the courts have done this? And then another important point. In 1949, when the idols were installed, the district magistrate was Mr. Nayyar. And you know very well that Mr. Nayyar, Nayyar or Nayyar? Nayyar. Okay, I'm sorry with my pronunciation. It's very Indianized and, So, that this gentleman later on contested on behalf of Jan Sangh and became Member of Parliament. Twice he became Member of Parliament. In 1992, Mr. B.D. Rai was removed as a collector of Faizabad for dereliction of duty. This gentleman was immediately grabbed by BJP and he became Member of Parliament. And that day is not far, my friend, when Mr. Sharma will proudly walk into the portals of Indian Parliament as BJP Member of Parliament. Justice Sharma can also become Member of Parliament. Because what he has taught does not make sense. I would request you, though the judgment is very long, it's in 3,000 pages. If you find time apart from your studies, do read it. It has indexes, just read that and see how. And the last part of my speech is that question that is, are Muslims equal before the law? Do they have equal protection before the law? And when people say move on, India has progressed. And India has progressed to such a level that according to one expert's report, 80% of Indians still earn 50 or 80 rupees per day. 20 rupees per day. We still have to move on. And whenever journalists come to me after judgment, an important TV channel came and said, we want to do an interview. I said, please come. And then they started by saying, why don't you go for reconciliation? I said, what kind of reconciliation are you talking about? He says, no, you must work for the unity of the nation. I said, you are making a strong allegation. When have I objected to the unity of country? I have always worked for the unity of country. Since 47, you show me one instance or an incident wherein we have not worked for the unity of the country. No, you have to go together. Forget about it. I said, you mean to say forget about it for what? No, Asad Saab, you are a young politician. You have a great future. I said, are you going to make me the Prime Minister of India? Which I don't want to become, inshallah. I will never become any minister. Because my philosophy of politics is, you must always be a soldier, fighting for the cause of the oppressed people, then only you can do something. Because the day you enter into these portals of power, you become one of them. You can't do much. And it is better to be outside, and to be better to be amongst people like you and to shout over here. To go and explain to you, this is what is happening in our great country. This is how young people like you should rise up and protect this country from being swallowed up by these chauvinist, majoritarian people who want to establish a Hindu Rashtra through this legal judgment. And then another point is, this has changed, the implications is, this has changed the whole course of history now. History is going to be defined in a different way. No more that history which you and me read, it was going to be read in a different way. Yes, sir, I'm finishing. So, in fact, I'll finish in 1 minute. And then, last point is, the implications is that in future, the message that has been given out to secular people is that you enjoy the goodwill according to the majority community. My dear friends, lastly, this judgment has given a legal force to Hindu supremacist ideology and to those people who believe in religious obscurantism. And my last point on what Shafi had said is that good, you are working for a cause in a state, in Andhra Pradesh. You are supporting Telangana. But Shafi, please remember that when the time comes which crudely in our political terminology we call it, when the fruits of the labor will be distributed, or when chora milke gawa baat lete, please remember that the oppressed people get their share. That is my fear. I am not against anything. My fear is when the cake would be distributed equally or unequally, you have to ensure, because you have taken a stand, that the cake which belongs to the oppressed community gets, that is given to them. Because history tells us that we have laid our lives, we have died for everything, and who are the people who have enjoyed all our fruits of labor? Different people. Thank you so much.
This is about all of us coming to the